Welcome back, everybody. Today we just started Archaelund in the Let's Play live series, so we're pretty much going through the game, fresh on our live series. But I thought that I'd kind of whip up a little ad hoc guide on how to do some things in the game. And this is by no means 100% walkthrough. This is definitely going to be just kind of a guide on what we find during the Let's Plays, and if you guys want to join in on building the guide and maybe working towards a full walkthrough, go ahead and join the Let's Play, throw me a comment on there in the chat, or throw a comment on this video and we can start working on a full walkthrough. So we're just going to jump in. We're going to start a new game. Now this is for your party creation. You can go through and create each individual party member. When you first click that, it came up because I've already started a game, but these are all blank, so you can either create your own fresh characters or you can do a random party. Personally, I prefer just to do a random party. I'm not super huge on min-maxing all of my characters and editing all their skills and traits to really be super effective. I like to more do that, each time they level up, I like to look at that and kind of mold the characters how I want to use them. Then down here you've got your difficulty. We're going to go just on new school because it's a little easier since this is a guide, so it's going to be a lot easier to kind of guide through things when we're not constantly dying in combat. Now, and I haven't confirmed it, but I'm pretty sure this is actually the order that your party moves and goes into combat. Every time I've started combat, my barbarian has been in the front and she is my tank, so she's generally tanking most of the damage, and my hunter here is usually in the back because he's the ranged guy. So I do think that it may have something to do with your party order. I'm not 100%. Like I said, this isn't a full walkthrough, but we'll find that at a later date if we have to, and we can update the walkthrough and guide as we see fit. Now, you can go through, even if you do a random party, you can go through and you can modify each setting for your characters. I'm just going to leave them how they are, but we'll just kind of go over what some of them do. So, go with your races. There's a fun little tidbit with the Minotaurs is they can't wear boots because they don't have feet, because they have hooves. It's just a fun little tidbit. I've chosen Barbarian for her. I prefer to have at least one tank, and we'll go back to that actually. So this is kind of my preferred build for something like this. I mean, for a burglar, it's basically a thief in other games. It's very D&D similar, very RPG-like. If you've played other RPGs before, this is kind of pretty standard for how this goes. I like to have a tank. I like to have a thief or a burglar, somebody that can pick locks and sneak if necessary. The initiate is my spellcaster. I always like to have a spellcaster. And I always like to have some form of ranged character. So that's what my hunter is. He's my bow. He's providing all the range support. He is also, and I'll show you here in the traits, or excuse me, the skills, he is also my scout, or not my scout, my kind of like a healer. Now the initiate does most of the healing. She's got the healing spells right here in Navaria's hand, and purification, that's for healing and poison and stuff like that. But if I go into Redmond here and I go to his skills, I've got him on healing and herbs, so he can gather herbs and other forage goods that can also heal the party. Basically, it goes into a cumulative party inventory, and they can use those. Now, and I'll show that when we get to the actual beach, but when you pick up some items, the ability to get anything good out of those items is based off some of these skills. So like if I go to pick up a flower or something, it'll show in the bottom right corner, and I'll show you when we get to the beach. It'll show in the bottom right corner that it's using healing and herbs, and it's rolling based off this healing and herbs whether or not I get anything out of that roll. So just as it kind of go over it a little bit, strength is pretty obvious. It's for melee damage, weapon usage, armor training. To the higher strength, the higher the armor you can use. Dexterity is for ranged weapons. It's for high mobility. It gives you more action points per dex point. it's mostly, for dodging and ranged and stuff like that. But if you do want some dodges, definitely put this on one of your melee characters or anybody that's going to kind of be on the front line. Endurance is your health points and your toxic resistance. It does have some it does have some influence on your armor training, minor influence on two-hand weapon training, stuff like that. Personality is how you handle social situations. You can sometimes talk yourself out of combat, talk yourself into combat if you have a low social or personality rating. Intellect is your spell power, action points, experience bonus. Major on healing and herbs, map charts, alchemy, ancient lore, mythology. So if you have one of your characters with the healing and herbs trait, you're going to want to bump up a little bit in intelligence. Or excuse me, the healing and herbs skill, you're going to want to bump up in intelligence. And then self-control is big for spellcasters, any kind of mage, anything like that. It heavily influences the willpower, which is your mana, essentially, which is what they use to cast spells. So let's just go right in. Like I said, this is my party setup preferred. I don't really min-max or anything like that, so I'm just going to go ahead with these guys. I'm going to make sure this guy's got healing and herbs, though, and then the survival is really important too. So your survival is important because it allows saving some rations when resting. And that's really big for me because right off starting the game, I have not found a lot of rations. So being able to save some just while the party rests has been really important. And all these are fairly standard to RPGs. I mean, you got athletics. It's your physical prowess affecting the ability to breathe underwater. The underwater is pretty freaky. We'll show you that. Scouting, detecting hidden objects, detecting hidden enemies. Healing and herbs is big. You can gather herbs and forage for goods. Maps and charts. Enhances the mini-map, which is pretty cool, allowing to show the direction the party is looking at, limiting zoom. Survival is always good. Hunting and finding safe camping locations. Disarm trap, pretty self-explanatory. Human insight. Perceiving lies. It's more like perception, so perceiving thieves and lies and stuff like that. Pick locks, obviously pretty self-explanatory. Spot search, hidden enemies, objects in dungeons and urban environments. Now I believe the scouting does not work in dungeons or cities, but spot secrets does. Deception, lying. Diplomacy, talking your way out of problems. Charisma also helps with that. Alchemy, ancient lore, crafting. These are all pretty boilerplate, so we're not going to get too granular as we go through them. We're just gonna jump right in, and we're gonna go to the beach. I'm actually gonna skip that. It's a pretty cool cutscene, but since we're doing a guide, we don't want to sit here and watch a long cutscene. All right, now we are on the beach. Just to go over a couple of things. You can right-click to get your cursor, and there's the tutorial right there. So right-clicking gets your cursor so you can access your map, alter your party, view journal. It looks like you can alter the party order, when they come up in combat. I prefer it this way since the barbarian is my tank, like I said. The burglar also uses melee, so they're going to be second. The initiate and the ranged hunter are going to be in the back. And then down here in the corner, you've got your party order as well, and their health and willpower. And then any skills that your party can use are going to sit above the character profiles. Now, when you move, you are in first person, but you do kind of move as the entire party. And then you can also, while in first person, you can use your skills. So just as an example, I'm going to use the healing skill just on a Minotaur. So you can see I can use my skills while we're in first person. So you're not limited to doing it just in combat. So we're just going to continue on, just go through the beach. This is what the map looks like. You can look at the world. You can pull it up just by hitting M. You can also hit tab to get your cursor as well, and that'll give you access to everything else that the right click does. I do recommend quick saving quite a bit. This is not an easy game by any account. Just left click on stuff, to pick it up. And then when we go, you can press C, go into your character windows. So you're going to have your party inventory right here. That is accessed by everybody. Also, you start the game naked. And then you just left click to bring it into one of your party members' backpacks. And then left click again, they equip it. That's just, the left click is the default action on any of the icons. You can also right click and hit equip. I'm going to give the club to my barbarian since she's the tank. Like I said, I do recommend quick saving pretty much as possible. I don't think there's a limit on it, or at least I haven't heard back from the dev on if there's a limit on it. Excuse me. So I do like to kind of reach all the corners of the map, look through. I'm going to save really quick here just because I see a fight coming up. We'll just call this one Redmond Guide. Make sure that didn't overwrite my other save. Okay. And the fights are definitely going to be a little different. I mean, if you've been looking at this game for a while, you know that the fights are turn-based. They're going to be very similar to Baldur's Gate in the combat. So, and a lot of times when you see some enemies, this little window is going to come up, and it's going to tell you kind of some information about things, give you options on what you want to do. We are definitely going to go fight them. And I've got a save up there, so let's do a quick save. We'll go pick a fight. And this is a good example of how the party order works. We're kind of in a line here, but that's the way the party order comes out during combat. Now, since we're kind of in a line like this, I usually like to bring up anybody that's using melee, so these enemies have to kind of move towards them. I don't want my tank getting stuck out there alone, and your characters can attack diagonally as well. So they can attack here, they can attack here, you know, she can attack here, here. Excuse me. So I like to kind of bring everybody in a line. He's going to stay back. Well, I guess he's not going to stay back here right now because he doesn't have his bow. So we're going to move him right up there. And the squares on the colors on the squares on the ground, if they're green squares, he can move into an attack position. So he's moved into a green square, so he's got enough AP left to attack. So I'm going to go ahead and attack with him. It missed. Okay. Now the green end turn down here is going to end it and take it to the next character. You can also delay your turn, which will move you down further down in the initiative line. So we're going to move her right up here. And I'm just going to end her turn. And I'm going to move her right up here and attack. And you just left click on the enemies and it'll attack them. And then once I end her turn, it's going to move to them. Now see, they now have to move down to meet my characters. Instead of multiple of my characters getting bunched up on, like my tank getting stuck with several enemies around her, they have to move now down to my fighting line. And we got a good hit and a kill on that one. Now there's no looting the bodies till the combat is done, so I'm just going to leave this and end her turn. Let them do their thing. Let's move him up, get an attack in. And it's going to be a little frustrating at first. You're not going to get a lot of attacks to hit. As I say that, you know, I get an attack to hit. But the right off the bat, you're not going to be great at hitting anything. Now, she's a burglar, so she gets enough AP to attack twice. Now on the barbarian, normally right here, these little rockers, attack focus, spend extra AP to increase accuracy. So it really shines with the hunter. You can spend, you know, all, if you're not going to have him moving, you can spend all that extra AP and you can improve his accuracy when he shoots. I think it's 5% every level up. But, you know, she doesn't have really... I believe with the warriors or barbarians, it only works on two-handed weapons. But with the hunter, it works on the bow. And since he doesn't have anything, he's just going to punch. Just going to punch. And if you hover over the enemy here, you can see here up at the top, It'll show the HP, 3 out of 7, initiative, so its order in the initiative line for combat. You can do the same thing over your friendlies. It'll show the HP, the willpower, initiative for combat. She gets 2 hits. And now you see, like I was saying, there are green squares and there are yellow squares. So I'm going to move her to a green square and have her attack. Let's get these fish taken care of. Come on. We'll just leave it. There we go. Combat is won. And then, like I said, looting happens after combat. You can just choose to take all. You can hover over it. It'll give you a little description of what the item is. So we'll take all. And now we've got a little bit more of the map explored. I didn't find too many secrets on the beach, but I will go through what I did find. So I'll take you through the secrets that I did find around here. So we'll left click on that. We've got lockpicks, travel supplies, torches, everything super useful there. We'll go to the skeleton. We've got a bow and arrow, reinforced leather boots, and some gold. Now we'll go into the character window. And since they don't have weapons, we're just going to give everybody a torch since they can use that as a weapon. And then with torches, you would just left click on it like that, and that will just use the default action to light the torch. I'm going to keep him off. I'm going to give him his bow, give her some boots. I love that you start the game naked. And now we'll come up to this coral over here. I don't think there's anything on it that we can pick up, but this would be a good example of one of the flowers that you can try to harvest, and it'll roll towards your health and gathering and survival checks. There's not too many secrets on the beach, like I was saying, but there's a couple. And we'll quick save, just in case. Now we do have some health problems, so we'll, like I said, use the healing outside of combat. The willpower does not regenerate right now. I believe there is a skill later that you can use that will regenerate willpower, but you can also rest in specific resting party spots that will allow you to build up, I think, 65% health and willpower. And like I said, you could left click on anything you find on the ground and you pick it up. We'll go into here and look at the description. It's not really loot. It's nothing important. It's just a shell, but I think we can sell it for like 1 gold. This one's a little better. We can sell this one for a little more. I think it has a pearl in it. Okay, this has got some flour on it, so I can show you that. And this is what happens when you spot a secret item or something interesting. We just picked up a buckler. I'm going to give that to our barbarians since they're out front. And you see down here in the bottom right that little log that comes up. Redmond checks for healing herbs, 68%, rolls 50, success. Okay, so I was able to gain some Umsil bud. And you can see that it can heal up to 5 HP and reduce poison power by 1. So we can use that for crafting as well with alchemists. And I'm getting good rolls. So I was able to pick up all of that. I was hoping we could show you a failed roll. You just don't get anything with a failed roll. So let's just continue on. We're going to kind of hit all the edges of the beach and then move towards the center. So far, I think they've done a really good job with the game. I haven't found many bugs. I have had a couple of crashes to desktop, but that's about it. Nothing really bad. Now we've been over there. We're going to go this way. So we've completed most of this side, if not all of it, of the beach. The beach is really simple. There's not really a lot going on with it. But there's a good mechanic coming up here. You can see some enemy fish over there. And right up here is a rest spot, but we won't be able to rest because the enemies are over there. So you see how the party icon is grayed out, or excuse me, the camp icon is grayed out. That's because we have enemies right down the hill, so we won't be able to rest because of the enemies. And we'll pick this up. It'll give us the quest, The Fabled Treasure of Grolf. You can read this if you want to. I'm not going to read it just for purposes of the guide. But then you hit J, and that'll bring you to your quests, where you can read more information about that. You can also hit right-click, go down here to your journal, or tab, go down here to your journal. And that gave us the quest for treasure. Since this is a dungeon crawler, there's a lot of, quests for dungeons and treasures and whatnot. And this is more talking about there is buried treasure on this beach, if I remember correctly. Imperial ruins, yeah. So there are imperial ruins on this shore that we'll get to here in a second. First, we're going to fight these fish over here, and we'll rest, and I'll show you some of the rest functions. Now, there's a big fish here. We got to deal with that guy. Okay, so I can't really do much while they're doing their thing. If you hold in middle mouse button, you can rotate your camera. We did find during the live stream that you can see how the camera kind of goes through the rocks. You can't actually do anything if you're trying to click through the rock or click through a wall. So we're just gonna... I wonder, can I turn on that? No. Just... Good hit with her. And the big one's coming up. Moved into a good position where my tank can get a hit. Still doesn't have a two-handed weapon, so I can't show the AP boost. I'll just deal with these guys real quick. Honestly, the archer is just terrible. And like I said, right off the bat, you're not going to be getting a lot of really good connects until your characters start leveling up more. We're going to focus our fire here on this big one. Good hit. Let's go hit this one. And now, just to show you, you can use your AP to increase his shot. So we're going to use pretty much all of his movement plus 4 AP to increase his accuracy, and he gets a hit. And you can do the same thing with the barbarian or anybody that's using a two-handed weapon. And everybody's getting a hit off. Now we can't move our barbarian in place to get a hit, but we can get in place. Well, I guess we don't have to for the next one. We're gonna do the same thing. I don't see if there's any limit on it. We haven't found one in the live stream, so pretty much every round you can use your AP to increase his aim, and I think it's really important with the archers that they kind of stay back and support from the rear. Actually, I'm going to use her healing spell. All right. Got some more scales on that one. You can also look over here, see a little more information about the enemies that you just fought and the XP that you gained from them. Now, if you did have any first aid items, you would be able to bandage wounds right here, right after the fight. We don't have any, so we can't really bandage anything. So we're going to go back up here since we finished that fight and there's no more enemies in the way. And we're going to rest. And you can see down in the party icons right here, this little yellow bar, that's your XP. So that's been going up now. And you can just press P to camp. So we'll start our camp. We do have some supplies that we can do a full rest. You can also forage and hunt. It rests for 6 hours. You can recover up to 65% of maximum willpower and health. You know, we're not missing too much. So we are going to do just the full rest. And that'll take us probably into the night. I haven't found any differences between night and day. I haven't found any tougher enemies or anything of that like while it's nighttime out. But, you know, that remains to be seen. We're still doing the Let's Play. This is, like I said, this is an ad hoc guide. Just kind of, as we're playing the Let's Play, I'll be releasing these. And for this one, we're just going to do what we've done already, the party creation, a secret object, and the beach. So these are medical herbs, first aid kits, stuff like that. Those can be used at the end of a fight. We're going to quick save. And those can be used at the end of a fight to heal your battle-weary characters. Now, if you go up into these trees here, there should be a two-handed club. It might be in a different clump of trees. We got more crabs. We're going to save again. Like I said, I definitely recommend save scumming. And we're going to start combat with these crabs here. Now we're going to leave them here. They can all attack from where they are. So we're just going to skip that turn. Let the crabs get in a little closer. Ooh, critical hit. Okay. 17 health on the crab, initiative 5. We're going to use the same thing. We're going to bump all of his AP into accuracy. Get a good hit. Tank's going to smack this crab. You are going to move up right here. Attack this one. Good hit, good hit. Same thing. Use the AP. Getting pretty reliable hits when we use his AP. Let's see, that's only got 3 health. That's got 7 health. Let's hit this one for 3. And we missed both of them. And those critical hits are doing damage. Everybody seems to be missing. Let's just attack both of them. Okay. Now we do have a character that's close to death here. When your characters die, I'm going to heal her just because I don't want to lose her in the fight. But when your characters die, they're not dead permanently, as far as I've seen. They do come back at the end of the fight with minimal health. So you can definitely heal them up, especially at the end of the fight. Move you into position here. Come on. There we go. And now we can show you how to bandage wounds. So you can pick what you want to use to bandage wounds. We're going to use the medicinal herbs. That's going to bandage pretty much everybody up. May not go all the way though, but we're gonna try. It didn't do much. Didn't do much. His skill is still pretty low though, so it's okay that he didn't heal everybody fully. Now there's a little secret back here, if I remember right. And just for reference where we are on the map, this is where we start. No, this is where we start. That's that skeleton we found some goodies on. That was our first rest point. This is where we fought those first fish, second fish, crabs. Now there's a little secret area here. If I'm not mistaken, I believe there's chests over here. There we go. So Redmond checks for healing and herbs and rolls 70 failure, and I did not get any items from that. Oh no, there's no chests. Okay. So I'm going to quick save right here just because I want to show you what happens. So it's just a log here, but it's kind of an environmental, not really event, but it's something you can do with the environment. So we're going to click on it, and it'll give you a little description of what's going on. Amidst the desolate beach, a weathered wooden mast juts out from the sand. Its time-worn surface whispers tales of forgotten tragedies. Maybe it could be, but it will require considerable might. So since my tank does have very good athletics, we're going to try that. It's obviously 100%, so it's going to work. But if you didn't have 100%, it would roll for it. And if you failed it, it wouldn't move. Load your quick save, retry it. We got a little goodie here. We've got some more medical herbs, small sapphire you can get some good gold for, some more travel supplies, and some torches. We're going to head on back. I don't recommend going into the water. It's a slog to get through. Let's see if I can show you what I'm talking about. All your characters, all that yellow on their names, right down here, that's them holding their breath. And you move pretty slow underwater, so we're just going to continue on. We're not going to do much stuff underwater. But we've actually almost finished the beach. And then after the beach, we'll do another video for the first dungeon. So we can't really do anything more up there. We've cleared all that out. You can climb these hills, kind of. I mean, there's no jump, so it's a little janky to try to get up to them. But yeah, I mean, with enough trying, you can probably get over it, just like in Skyrim. But we don't have a trusty horse. Now you can kind of see on the map up here, there's a little bit of land that you can see. You can also see it under you. It's just kind of a path that we can take underneath the water. It looks daunting because you can't really see it unless you're on top of it. But you're definitely not going to drown if you walk through there, I can promise you that. Unless you walk off of the path, and then, you know, you will drown. We'll grab these flowers up here. Coral flowers. And failure, didn't pick anything up. There's another shell over there. They're worthless, but might as well pick it up. Now, on our Let's Play, I did try to get out over there. I wasn't able to. You probably have to swim to get out there. I didn't see anything from where I was that looked any particularly special. I mean, there's a little bit of land, but that's about it. You've got to go through deep water to try to get to it, and I didn't really see anything of use over there, so I didn't go over there. We're going to quick save again because we've got some combat coming up. Over there on the left, you see here, that is your first dungeon. But we're gonna clear up the beach before we do that first dungeon. All right, you want to start a fight? Let's start a fight. You're very far away. All right, we'll use the AP method. We'll get a shot on the big one, and it missed. Now, combat can actually go pretty quick. It can also go pretty long. It depends on how many enemies there are. These are definitely a lot of weak enemies. These big ones hit a little harder, but these little ones, they don't hit very hard. They can get criticals, but the littler enemies are easier to deal with. Let's go ahead and heal. In the dungeon, there's definitely some harder enemies than you might expect, but it's, you know, it's pretty on par for a dungeon. Ooh, good hit. Good hit from our archer. And now that's a good example of how using those AP can really benefit your shot. And as you see, some of the enemies, especially some of the bigger enemies, do have enough AP to get multiple hits in. And that's how they've been doing that. So let's hope we can get a killing blow. There we go. But now, see, this is a bad situation because I've got two of them on my tank and no access to my other enemies, or my other characters, excuse me. And this guy, this wild one way out here. So I'm going to heal my tank again. And then move my healer up a little bit. I'll bump him up. Good hit, try to protect the healer. And we'll move you up. You should be able to get a couple of different hits. Good job. Good job. See what I mean? How combat can definitely go pretty quick. I mean, if you're really super strategic about it and want to move your characters into specific places to really maximize the combat, you can definitely do that. I haven't really found a need right off the bat, but I think once we get into more complicated enemies, we're definitely going to have to start doing that. So we're going to take all that. We're definitely getting some good experience from that. Oh, I should have bandaged after that fight. So we're going to go down here because there's some good stuff down here. Where are we on the map? Okay, yeah. Now down here is some chests. There's 2 chests. There's going to be one. Oh, I thought there were 2 chests. I think maybe it's over there. So there's this chest. You see the gears. You can click on it. It requires a specific key. Can't be lockpicked. But if you go down this way, we're going to quick save real quick just in case you don't see it. We go down this way. We've got the special key. And we'll pick up a shell. We'll go up. We'll unlock said chest. We got some good stuff. We've got a scroll called Fascinate. This is a spell, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, it's a spell. And my initiate actually can't use it, but we've got some other good items. We've got some potions of healing, toxic resistance, blue robes, and some gold. You're going to be picking up quite a bit of gold, so I haven't really had an issue with money or anything like that. Now, scrolling through your characters, you can see they're able to use everything but the scroll. Even my initiate can't use it. But they can use everything else, so I'm actually going to give her the clothes. Excuse me. And we're going to continue on. Now there's a chest over there, and like I said earlier when we went past that other water, you can see right here on the map, there is a faint outline of path. But this one we are actually going to go underwater a bit, so you can see they're holding their breath. Your movement speed goes down because they're swimming. We're going to get up here, grab that, success, we got some bud, and there's this chest right here. We've got a short sword, a rotten leather helmet, another torch, and some more supplies. Those are going to be very useful. We'll give her the helmet, we'll give her the sword. And now we've got to go back, and you can see on the map a little more fully now that that path is outlined under the water, and there's no other path around it. So we're going to follow the path along again. It's going to take us back underwater. I hate going underwater, I'll be honest. You move so slow, and I keep thinking everybody's going to drown. And there are some skills that that benefit going underwater. I don't remember which one it is. Maybe it was a talent. I'll look it up and I'll put it in the next video. But after this, after the beach, I haven't found a need to go underwater. But we'll find out more just on our Let's Play, and we'll update the guide. And we'll quick save again. We're still not done with the beach. I know we saw the first dungeon, but we are still not done with the beach. I'm going to go through here. We're actually going to pass by the first dungeon. We're going to go over to the right. There's an important bit that we don't want to miss. And I know that there's a two-hand club in one of these clumps of trees. Now this is a good place for rest. I'm not going to rest here. There's another one coming up. But we're going to continue on to the right. Now this will update our mission. You see the gate on the side of the cliff. This may only be a way out of the desolate coast, but maybe we should explore the beach thoroughly for anything that could prove useful. That's going to happen quite a bit. So we're not going to go in there yet. We're going to go this way, to the right. Some more coral flowers over here. And failed. Man. I had a lot more success after I bumped up his health and foraging skill. Yeah, there's nothing in the rocks. Do another quick save. And that noise you keep hearing is that up there. Not sure what it is. It's some kind of beacon, some kind of magical beacon, or something like that. I really wish you could jump. Alright. Now our next clump of fish. Oh wow, they rolled really good initiative. Let's get some more AP on his shot. Good hit. Move you up there. And now she moved too many spaces, so I don't have enough AP for her second attack. I'm going to move her up. I should have healed. That's okay. The Barbarian's going to be tanking most of that damage. Alright, we took care of the big ones, so that's our main. Now the party inventory is not available during combat, but your backpack inventory is. So really I should have moved that health potion into her backpack. That's my mistake. It will be remedied. Good hit with our archer. Couple of good hits from her, from our burglar. Now instead of hitting, I'm actually going to heal up our Barbarian there. Hopefully the archer can pull it out. There we go. Alright, now we are going to bandage wounds. Ooh, got a good bandage on that one. Got everybody pretty close to full. Now you see that guy laying on the beach down there? That's why we came over this way. He is going to be a great help to us. But I'm just going to get this outer edge of the map. Do another quick save. Some more coral flower over here. We found a good place to rest, and we can actually investigate this out as well. And then we'll search under the rocks. We find an old parchment that updates the Treasure of Gralf quest. So you always want to click on everything, investigate what you can, find everything you can, and I'm going to try to keep as many of the information, keep as much of the information about item locations and whatnot as I can in the guides as we find them. And then if you find anything that I missed, go ahead and shoot me a message or a comment, and we'll add it to the guide. So we have definitely a few options on this one. He is still alive, so you can use your healing and herbs, 68% to try to heal him, or we can use her healing spell on him, or we can use the potion healing, or, you know, we can leave him to die and loot his body. So we're going to go ahead and use the healing spell. He gets back up. We'll talk to him, go through the dialogue, ask him to join us, and we now have a 5th party member. That's why it's important to come all the way down just to show you where he is on the beach. So this is our starting area is over here. Starting area is here. There's your first rest point. Here's that log that gets you a little goodie. Continue down here. There's another rest point. Here's where the chests are, right here. There's the dungeon right there. And you come down to the right, here's where he is laying on the beach, and another rest point right there. So we're going to go up and rest. Get everybody healed up. We'll get to the entrance of the dungeon, kill the crabs, and then we'll cut it, and part 2 will be the first dungeon. We are going to spend all of our supplies. See what I mean? It's very expensive to use our supplies. You can also wait. It's 1 a.m. I'm going to actually wait till sunrise. And then we'll get out. We'll head over to the dungeon. This episode's running actually a little longer than I thought it was going to be. Oh, I forgot to loot those. Okay, so if you do forget to loot after the fight, you can go up and loot the bodies. But I prefer to do it after the fight. Easiest way to do it. And shift, you can sprint as well. Forgot to mention that. And I don't see any stamina, so you can pretty much unlimited sprint. Alright. Let's go in and deal with these crabs. Just make sure there's nothing around here that we forgot or missed. Oh, I think we're good. Yep. Check over here really quick. And we'll take on the crabs. And you can see, like I was talking about, everybody's kind of in a line here, and that exposes her just to all of the enemies. So we want to move our people in so the crabs have to kind of move into a line. Ooh, that has been an effective crab. We don't want to lose our tank. I don't think she has the AP to do it. We might lose our tank. But that'll be a good opportunity to show. And if I try to move away from these enemies right here, because I mean she's almost dead, so if I try to move away from them, excuse me, that's going to start a reaction attack from them, or a reactive action. So I'm not going to try to run away, because that's probably just going to kill her. So we're going to attack twice with him, try to get the aggro off of our tank. Hopefully she does not die. There we go. We'll get some healing done. Oh man, took away pretty much everything I healed. That crab's almost done for. Man, our tank is just not doing well in this fight. There we go. We've almost got the big one done. And a few good hits in there. I'm gonna move her in and actually have her attack. There's definitely quite a bit of missing going on though, and that's to be expected with the lower levels. There we go. Alright, let's bandage up some people. No real loot or anything from that fight. You know what? I do actually remember where that club is. And to retract an earlier statement, you can definitely exhaust your characters. So there is a modicum of stamina, and you can run for quite a bit, but they can get exhausted and they can't run after that. So I'm going to sprint this whole way here and see if I can get that to happen. You'll see down here a little lung icon comes up. Let's see if I can get them to get exhausted. But over here in this clump of trees, right here on the map, is a two-handed club. Right here. It's a great club, so we're actually going to give that to our barbarian. We'll bring our shield over and give that to our initiative. We haven't actually given him anything yet, so... And we'll head back to the entrance, and we'll close it out. We'll sprint the whole way. But now, since my barbarian is using a two-handed weapon, we can use her extra AP every round. There's the little long icon. You can see the tired effect. But since she's got a two-handed weapon, she can use her extra AP to get a more accurate hit. Okay. We are at the first dungeon, so I'm going to go ahead. Excuse me. We're going to cut it right here. Thank you for watching. If you have any questions or if you want to comment on it, go ahead and shoot me a comment. If you have any more to add to the guide, absolutely message me, leave a comment, join the Let's Play live and shoot in the chat, mention anything in there. We may actually do a walkthrough prep, but I don't think that's really going to be necessary. So we'll go ahead and save our game. Where are you? Right here. Save it. And go back to the main menu. Alright, so like I said, if I missed anything in the guide, it is a, cursory ad hoc guide. It's not a full 100% walkthrough, but if I missed anything, let me know. If you started the game and you found something, absolutely, if you want to help, join the Let's Play, and we'll go ahead and we'll start knocking it out and making some notes on what we can do. Thank you for watching. We'll see you on the next part.